Hi, this is Chris Clark. I'm a local commercial real estate professional based in Orange County, California. I did want to go through some of the data that just looked at with CoStar. That's a good way to have a really good look back in terms of some of the good data points we've seen with the 2019 economy. There's been a lot of noise with politics and tariffs and trade wars and a lot of other things going on, so I wanted to keep it simple and walk through some of the reports and charts and graphs that we've disseminated from CoStar. I really do like CoStar because it does provide unbiased data, and so there's no spin to this data. So I want to walk you through 4 charts that I thought were compelling. First chart I thought was interesting is the US employment growth. And as I zoom in here, what you can see is it's really tracked since '07, and it's a baseline of where we are pre-recession. And as we all remember, going through '08 through 2010 was fun for anyone in the real estate industry, but a huge bounce back through 2010 to where we are now. But what I find very important, and one of the things I wanted to highlight, was the fact that going through Q3 and Q4 on the forecast, you can see that we're going to have a pretty significant drop, and that might have a few things to do with the upcoming election in the US. It also could have something to do with the potential tariffs and the trade conflicts we're seeing with China now that hopefully we're getting through. But it's interesting to note a pretty fair drop off, still positive job growth, but definitely something to keep in mind that we want to be conscious of. So I'm going to flip over here. Next chart I wanted to show you was real GDP. And again, a similar chart with a trend line running throughout. Same time frame, starting about 2007 and running through the recession. We're about 2%. I'm sure, like me, you follow a lot of the economic forecasts, and some prognosticators are maybe going down as low as 1.75% in terms of GDP domestically, and we're following that same trend here. Again, what's interesting is that we are going down to a lower GDP growth, and we'll see what happens in 2020. No results released yet for Q4, but something to keep an eye on. This next chart I thought was very interesting because I've seen a lot of charts on consumer confidence, and it's a really big part of the last chart. GDP makes up about 70% of GDP, so consumer confidence and spend is super important in terms of the health of our economy. What I find very interesting here is there's 2 different data points. You have a Conference Board as well as Michigan, and you could see in gray the Michigan kind of mimics the Conference Board chart, but in 16, kind of the middle part of 16, there was an inflection point where the Conference Board jumped ahead, and now is very, very bullish, sitting about roughly 125% from where we kind of started our baseline, if you will, of '07. As you remember, there was still a lot of confidence in '07 before we hit '08. So it's kind of telling that although GDP is slowing and job growth is slowing a little bit, consumer confidence still remains high. Last but certainly not least is what I really wanted to highlight at the end here is the real private non-residential investment. So anything outside of public funds, REITs, pensions, etc., the large insurance company buys. What you'll see here, and I'll zoom in here a little bit, again, same time frame of the charts, just for uniformity. Again, going down similar to GDP, around 2% at the trend line there, and you're starting to see negative growth in terms of quarter-over-quarter spend in gray. So just could be an indicator that private high net worth investors are slowing their spend down, at least in commercial real estate. So something to take a look at and be conscious of. Whether we're flat, might see a dip a little bit into 2020. This could be a leading indicator of, as we get through Q1 of 2020, where we might end up in a year from now. So just some food for thought. I'll definitely leave my information. If you ever need any guidance or support in the commercial real estate world, please do reach out, leave a comment, or reach out to me directly. Thanks for your time. Take care.